My name is Steve Fairlie, and I'm here to speak with you about whether you should submit to a breathalyzer if a police officer requests that you do so. In Pennsylvania, you're implied to have consented to taking a test anytime you get behind the wheel and drive on the roads. The most important thing to remember is that if you don't take the breathalyzer, there are a number of consequences that are almost certain to happen. The first one is that your license is going to be suspended for 1 year. In Pennsylvania, your driver's license gets suspended for a minimum of 1 year if you refuse to take a breathalyzer when a police officer had probable cause to believe you were DUI. Not only that, the fact that you refuse to take the test can be used at the DUI prosecution. You can still be charged, and the police officer will use that refusal against you to show consciousness of guilt. And that means that the judge or the jury will be told that the fact that you refused is evidence that you knew you were guilty and you didn't want to turn over that evidence. The third thing that happens is that all of the penalties are converted to the highest tier. In Pennsylvania, we have 3 tiers of DUI. 0.08 to 0.10 is considered to be a standard DUI. 0.10 to 0.16 is considered to be a high result, and 0.16 or higher is considered to be the highest result. If you refuse to take the breathalyzer and you are convicted of DUI, you're punished as though you were in that 0.16 or higher tier. You're automatically presumed to have had the highest BAC. And frequently people get convicted even though they didn't take a breathalyzer. So it's very important to realize that if you decide not to take the breathalyzer, there will automatically be penalties that you're going to have to deal with. It's important to distinguish between a portable breath test and field sobriety testing at the roadside and chemical testing, which is done back at the police station or at the hospital. Chemical testing done at the police station on a large breathalyzer or at the hospital when they take blood is a test that should be taken in almost every case. So go ahead and submit to that type of testing. But you should not submit to a portable breath test or field sobriety testing at the scene by your car. Those are tests that can be used in a manner that can hurt you by providing probable cause for further testing. But if you don't take them, it can't be used against you. So if a police officer sticks a portable breath test through the window or asks you to step out and asks you to take a little handheld breath test, you should refuse that test. If the police officer asks you to take field sobriety testing on the side of the road, touch your nose, walk and turn, things of that nature, those are tests that I've administered to detectives, to judges at Rotary meetings and seminars, and they've failed dead sober because the tests are very difficult to pass. There's no reason to take those tests when you're scared to death at night on the side of the road. Refuse those tests, but make sure that you take the blood test or the breath test that's offered back at the police station or the hospital. Another reason that you want to make sure you take a breath test if you're requested is that there's a great defense to breath testing in Pennsylvania. 20% of the population suffers from GERD, which is basically acid reflux. And if you're one of the people that suffers from acid reflux, then I have experts lined up who have reports that show that that type of medical condition causes alcohol to come from your stomach up into your esophagus and artificially elevates the BAC reading in your test results so that the test results are invalid or artificially high. We can attack those test results. We have an expert who can generate a report to show how that impacted your case. So for that reason, it's a good idea to take a breath test if requested.